New faces, new powers, new adventures. Don't drift away, Straw Hats. We are just getting started, right? So we got Smoker, we got Tashigi, we got Wapol, and we got Dalton. Now, I looked these people up because I didn't recognize any of them. And this guy, for example, Smoker's guy, he hasn't really been in that many things, which is like, you know, that's why I didn't recognize him, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But that goes for a lot of them, except for a few. And I think that's kind of good, right? Because I know a lot of people are building these fan casts with like people that are extremely well-known actors, and they're just gonna drain the bank. But if you look at some shows that like did incredibly well, they fished like people who really weren't very well known, right? And then they became like extremely well, like Andrew Lincoln, for example. Andrew Lincoln, Rick in The Walking Dead, right? He had been in a bunch of stuff, but like after The Walking Dead, like he's Rick, right? And that goes for a lot of characters. So I'm sort of glad that they're not pulling like very, very big names for the main cast. So that's good. But yeah, I don't recognize any of these people. I briefly skimmed through their IMDb's, like a few of them, but I don't really recognize them. This guy, to me, I don't know why. This guy, I think I'm gonna like him. I think Rob Coletti, I don't know. Rob Coletti, I think this is gonna be a buggy situation. I think this is going to be a situation where, in the anime, I despised Wapol, but just looking at that guy, I think he has such a good vibe, I don't think I'm gonna be able to dislike him. I'm gonna be honest. I just get that vibe from him. But yes, those are the official casts. Not really much else to say about them. Like, they're very much going for, like, they look like the characters. Like, this isn't a situation where, like, for a smaller character, like Dalton's important, but, you know, he's not, like, omega important, so, like, you could switch up his look. But this guy, he looks like this rugged dude. He looks like Dalton, right? The same goes for all of them. This guy looks a little bit too nice in this picture. Smoker always looks like grumpy. But that's maybe a picture problem. But yeah, not much else to say about these guys. I don't remember the order. Let's talk about this one, because here I actually recognize this guy, David Dast. This name. This guy has been in a ton of stuff, and very recently he's been in Oppenheimer. That's where I remember him from. But he has a ton of experience, which is very interesting to me, right? Because Mr. 3 is important, but he's not important in this season. So casting someone like this, sorta to me, tells me that they're thinking ahead, you know? Also, I just realized I still have the Elden Ring death counter up. He's fine, we're not gonna worry about that. I think the fact that they've cast him for Mr. 3 does bode very, very well for how far they think they're going to go. Because this spells out Impel Down, you know? To me, that's kind of looking like that. Like, they're basically in it for the long haul. I hope so. I hope so. I haven't seen him star in anything, so I don't really know like how good of a like standalone character he is, because he is the primary antagonist of Little Garden, right? So he's gonna be there a bunch. I haven't really seen him act like solo a lot, but we'll see. And for everyone else, I don't know any of these people either. I don't recognize them at all. This guy though, I mean, he looks like Mr. 5. He literally just it's just the same dude. And the last one, the Grand Line just got bigger. What the hell is this word? The crotchety? Crocus, Bragi, and Dory are coming our way. This guy, we all know this guy. This guy's from Game of Thrones. Let me open up his IMDb. This guy I immediately recognize. But yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. He has been in a ton of stuff. Like, look at this dude. Which, like, again, Crocus is not super important, like, right off the bat, but maybe they have something else cooked up. You know, a lot of people have been talking about whether or not Alabasta is going to be in Season 2, and the more I think about it, because, like, my knee-jerk reaction was obviously yes. We've talked about this before. I thought Alabasta, that will be, like, the biggest problem with Season 2, is potentially rushing Alabasta. If they're going to get 8 episodes, it might be pretty dicey. Like, considering how the first season went, right? And the more I think about it, the more I'm also starting to see a world where maybe Alabasta isn't even in Season 2. I don't think it's very likely. Like, purely from a production standpoint. But maybe. So pulling someone like Clive Russell in, you know, maybe they have something cooked up. Maybe. Because like Reverse Mountain and Whiskey Peak, those are two very, very fast arcs. So I don't know. And as for these giant dudes, I'm very curious how they're gonna do it, right? Because potentially we might never see his actual face. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. If they're doing like a Lord of the Rings thing where they're just using perspective, then we're obviously gonna recognize them. But if they're doing some sort of like super heavy makeup, super heavy whatever the hell they're doing, we might not even see their faces. But I don't recognize these guys either. So we'll see though. But I cannot lie, Dory looks very sexy. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know. I got some more. I got some more. So there's this thing. Speculated to play Vivi in One Piece live action. Right? This is from One Piece live action fandom. Now, this is speculation. It's a speculation, but apparently, she is in the same location where One Piece is filming. So, you know, we might also have Vivi. We might. No guarantees, but we might. And she's been in a bunch of stuff as well. We'll see though. Has somebody already? No one's added One Piece yet. But you know, potentially. That's it though. Like I was really hoping they're saving Hirolook and potentially Chopper for Friday. But I don't think they're going to, because like every single day they did teasers. And they haven't done a teaser today as far as I know. So I think this is gonna be it, unfortunately. I want to see how they're gonna do Chopper. Like genuinely. To me, that is the thing that could make or break this entire thing. My boy, my little boy, he needs to be done right. He needs to be done perfectly, flawlessly. If anything about Lil Chopper is off, I'm done. Also, it's gonna be interesting to see how they reveal Robin's casting. Because like One Piece is a very interesting thing. We've talked about this before as well. About like the whole spoiler culture around One Piece, right? Like with live action, this isn't really like a Game of Thrones and a Walking Dead problem, where like source material exists, but it's a completely different medium. One Piece is an anime, and One Piece as an anime is massive and has been going on for like 2 decades. So I don't know how they're going to be like handling spoilers, if that makes sense. Because even like the official casting, you don't see this kind of official casting normally, where they're just like, here's the dude, and here's literally how the character is going to look like. Like this normally doesn't happen for shows. Usually casting is kept like pretty low key. Whereas with One Piece, they're being like super public about it because everyone obviously knows about One Piece, right? But you know, I don't know. Drum Island for Season 3. That I cannot see. Drum Island for Season 3, that I cannot see. I can see Alabasta being Season 3. Drum Island though, no. Not at all. I can't see them pushing Drum Island that far. Unless they get another 8 episodes, and they've pulled in Clive Russell for something like major with Reverse Mountain. You know, because now they know about Brook, they know about, whatchamacallit. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that they can use hindsight for, right? So we could do like a bunch of more Laboon stuff, which you know is going to be very relevant relatively soon. Unless they plan on doing 15 seasons, Drum Island should be in Season 2. Well, to be fair, again, the fact that they've pulled in this dude for Mr. 3 seems like they're in it for the long haul. This to me looks like planning for Impel Down. Just putting it out there, I think after we see Season 2, making predictions for how the rest of the series is going to go like much smoother. Because I think Season 2 is going to really be the thing that sets sort of everything we should expect. Because Season 1 was sort of a trial run, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, Season 1 was a wild dart on the board that no one even knew where the board was. No one knew how many darts were being thrown. It was a wild shot. Season 2 is where they can really zero in on everything that made it a success. And, you know, just plan ahead. I think after we see Season 2, we can start having these conversations about Impel Down, post-war Marineford, yada yada. There is the hope that One Piece Day is coming up, right? One Piece Day is like July... It's sometime in July, right? So, potentially, for July, One Piece Day, we might be seeing more live-action stuff. And there is also Anime Expo. I don't think we're going to hear anything about the live-action in Anime Expo. I think Anime Expo might be reserved for Wit stuff. And then potentially One Piece Day could be something. If I was them, I would save up the big, like, Robin, Chopper, Hirolook, Kureha, that kind of stuff. I would save for One Piece Day. That's what I would do. Is it just me or the... Okay, let me bring up the actor. Let me bring up the actor again. I think you've written something very funny. Looks like a fusion between Zac Efron before surgeries and jaw broken and Henry Cavill. He kinda does. He kinda does. He does. Maybe it's just the angle. But I don't know. I don't know. He kinda does. You know what I can't wait for? Actually, I don't think we... No, we do. Henry Cavill should be Whitebeard. What do you say about that? I think it'd be perfect casting. Just get Henry Cavill for Whitebeard. Let's do it. Let's do it. I really hope they start like bringing in a bunch of the big lore stuff super early though. Because like Laboon was... We skipped over a lot of Laboon in Reverse Mountain, where I feel like we could do like a bit more stuff to like later better tie into Brook. Because I think it's like it's beautiful going back to like the early arcs and having a whole different perspective, but I think they could just move a little bit more of that story earlier on, sort of like they did with the execution. But yes, that is all the casting stuff. Missing Croc, VV Ace, and Kureha, which is not that big, but the actress will be. Yeah, I think they are keeping those under wraps. I think so. I think they're keeping like all the heavy hitters for, in my opinion, One Piece Day. Because last One Piece Day, well, not last One Piece Day, the One Piece Day before... No, wait, was it last One Piece Day? I don't even know. But that's when we got the trailer, right? Because I remember I was on a boat, IRL, and then I came back from me being on a boat, IRL, and then I talked about people being on a boat in live-action One Piece. I'm pretty sure that was One Piece Day. So, if they're doing the same thing, that's where I would reveal all the big reveals about casting and stuff. Helmeppo's actor did a really good job for being a jerk to Kobe's friend. They can make Wapol very unlikely if they want. I liked Helmeppo from the first scene he appeared in, because he was goofy. Wapol was not goofy. Wapol was annoying. There is a very thin line between being like endearing, slightly awkward, slightly like kind of being a jerk as well, but still being like very endearing and funny, and being annoying, right? Like Wapol in the anime was none of that and just annoying, and Buggy in the anime became annoying over time until well we all know what happened. But yeah, with the live action cast, that hasn't happened a single time for me. Like, the moment I saw Buggy in live action, I was like, we're locked in. Buggy in live action is perfect. That is like that's what's gonna make me so sad. What are they gonna do with Buggy in Season 2? Like, what are they going to do with, like, all the fan favorites in Season 2? Because I think even Kobe and Garp have been confirmed to appear, like, again, as a sort of a B-plot, is what I saw. Well, I say confirmed, but it's not confirmed, obviously, right? People are speculating they're going to basically be the B-plot again. Based on what? I don't know. I just saw that, and now I'm gonna say it. With no evidence whatsoever. But, like, the cast is gonna inflate a lot, and we need more time. But I also want to see Buggy. So I don't know. Do you think they'll make tall and slim Wapol similar to Small Buggy scene? I don't know. Like, whatever they do with Wapol is gonna be ridiculous. I think you put it best. Live-action Buggy is manga Buggy's headcanon of himself. True. True. I said this, like, as soon as I saw Buggy in live action, when I heard his, like, booming motif, like, the first thing we hear when we actually see him in Orangetown, I like, my brain was immediately, can you imagine the Whitebeard scene? Like, Whitebeard appearing in Marineford? If this is the kind of motif that Buggy gets? Bro, I'm gonna be covered in goosebumps. We gotta get to Marineford. I don't care about what happens after. We just gotta get to Marineford. I would love to see Return to Sabaody, because that is still my favorite arc of all time. Well, next to Sabaody itself, obviously. But we gotta get to Marineford. We just gotta. I mean, that's just like he did in the anime. Well, yeah, but then he'd sort of be a throwaway, right? I want Buggy to become not the B plot, but like the C plot. I want him to just constantly shadow Luffy, like in a weird way. I know it's not in the manga or anime, but I want it to happen because Buggy was damn cool. I just want that. Marco will show up for a few scenes. I wonder how they're going to do the Blackbeard name drop. Because the Blackbeard name drop in the anime is a big deal. And I feel like... is that difference of mediums, right? Because I think... like, for me personally... name dropping Blackbeard in live action is gonna hit infinitely harder than anime. And for me, that's just like a medium difference, right? I don't know why. I don't. Maybe it's just because like most pirate media is usually live action. So when I think Blackbeard, I think like everything I've seen. You think they'll manage to reach entirety of Alabasta? Yeah, that's like one thing I keep going in circles about. I genuinely don't know. I can see both worlds. Initially, I was like, of course they will. Because why wouldn't they? Like, why would you adapt Season 2, the Alabasta story, without doing the Alabasta story? But at the same time, I think they have enough goodwill that they kind of don't need to. They could easily push it to Season 3 in my mind. So it could genuinely go either way to me. Season 2 can end as they land in Alabasta. I would normally say yes, but I think if we begin Season 3 with Alabasta, it would have to be... I don't know how they'd write the conflict of Alabasta. Because usually, like, you need to hit the floor running. You know? With a new story. But if you moved Alabasta to Season 3, you would have, like, the same exact problem like The Walking Dead had, right? The thing that people despised is you build, and then you have a whole season-long thing. And only then you pick up, but you don't pick up with a new story. You're actually just finishing up the arc that you already started. And that usually doesn't bode well for stories. Like, I haven't seen that done well in, like, just about anything. That is the same reason why Game of Thrones rushed a bunch of stuff. Because they were starting, like, basically new arcs every season. Purely production-wise, I don't see them not adapting Alabasta in Season 2. But at the same time... if they could somehow write around that, maybe. But if they move Alabasta to Season 3, it has to be massive. And by massive, I mean it must be like the bulk of the season. Which again doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Season 2 could also be 15 episodes for all we know. Funny you mentioned that. You want to hear my immediate prediction? One Piece Season 2 is not gonna be like one thing. It's gonna drop in either 2 or 3 batches. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. I don't think Netflix is gonna keep doing the binge drops for much longer. That's basically what they're doing with like just about every series now. Ones that have been very successful and like long running. Because it makes sense, right? Like purely from Netflix's point of view, it also makes sense to retain people for multiple months. Money-wise, it just doesn't make sense to drop the whole thing. No. Season 2 and 3 back-to-back being filmed, that's Avatar. That, I believe, is not even possible with One Piece. I don't think it's happening. We haven't heard that officially at all. And I think because of where they're filming... I remember Matt Owens talked a bunch about the weather. I'm not sure that's even possible. To, like, film 2 whole seasons back-to-back. I can see filming a longer season, but I don't know if it's possible to, like, film 2 things back-to-back completely. I don't. Because there's, like, apparently, like, a whole big storm season and stuff. I don't know. I don't remember enough, but there's definitely hasn't been, like, a confirmation that it's happening. That's for Avatar. Avatar's filming the whole thing.